If things haven't improved yet, but the pressure suddenly stopped, that's not random. Most people think financial change starts with money. It doesn't. It starts when a certain struggles quietly disappear and your old ways stop working. If you've been feeling unsettled but strangely calm, stay with me, because this is the sign almost everyone misreads. Chosen one, this message found you because heaven knows your location. When staying quiet becomes your advantage, this revelation isn't for everyone. It's for you who feels the weight of divine selection even when no one else sees it. If you're watching this right now and something in your spirit is stirring, pay attention. This is not random. Your spiritual eyes are opening to a strategy that most miss. Your silence isn't weakness, it's divine positioning. Chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment. If this message is already speaking to your spirit, don't just watch silently. Subscribe now so you don't miss the confirmations God sends your way. You know how the enemy tries to distract you right when you need a word the most. You felt it recently, this unusual pull to withdraw, to speak less, to stop announcing your moves. This isn't fear gripping you. This is heaven protecting you. What others call falling off is actually God hiding you for your next season. The enemy has been studying your patterns, your reactions, your emotional responses. Every time you spoke too soon, invisible opposition formed against you. Each time you announced your blessing before its time, strange delays followed. This wasn't coincidence. It was spiritual warfare responding to premature exposure. God is confirming something to you right now. Your current silence is strategic, not punitive. Look at the evidence. When you spoke openly about your calling, unusual resistance appeared. When you shared your vision, unexpected betrayal followed. When you celebrated too early, doors mysteriously closed. Heaven is teaching you that some blessings only arrive when carried in silence. Your spirit knows this is true. That's why tears may be forming as you hear these words. Your isolation isn't rejection, it's protection. The quietness God placed on your life isn't punishment, it's preparation. The mark of a chosen one is this: you experience warfare before manifestation. Your blessing creates opposition before completion. What others receive easily, you must fight for spiritually. This isn't because heaven loves you less. It's because your assignment threatens darkness more. Notice how people suddenly misunderstood your motives. Observe how former friends grew uncomfortable with your growth. See how familiar spaces began feeling foreign. These are confirmation signs. Heaven is separating you because your next level requires different companions. Your silence is becoming your sanctuary. Your restraint is becoming your weapon. While others expose themselves to spiritual monitoring, you're learning the power of divine confidentiality. This quiet season isn't your setback, it's your setup. Every chosen vessel experiences this marking. Every divine assignment includes this testing. Every spiritual elevation requires this proving. Heaven isn't ignoring your prayers, it's increasing your capacity for what comes next. Chosen one, the wilderness, wasn't your choice, but it was your destiny. This sudden isolation, where calls stopped, invitations disappeared, and familiar faces faded, was orchestrated by divine hands, not human ones. The wilderness looks like rejection, but functions as redirection. Your spiritual attacks intensified precisely when your strength seemed lowest. Sleep disrupted, peace challenged, mind bombarded. These aren't random, they're strategic. The enemy only fights what threatens his territory, and your destiny threatens darkness deeply. Those dreams waking you at 3 a.m., the visions that make no logical sense, the numbers that keep appearing, these aren't coincidence. They're heaven communicating in code while public channels remain closed. God speaks most clearly when everything else goes quiet. You're experiencing the painful stripping of false identities. Titles that once defined you suddenly feel empty. Relationships that shaped your worth suddenly can't access you. Achievements that gave you value suddenly don't satisfy. This stripping hurts, but it's making room for authentic identity. The most confusing part? When you needed divine direction most, heaven seemed silent. You prayed, but felt nothing. You sought, but found no clear path. You cried, but heard no immediate comfort. This divine silence wasn't abandonment, it was development. When God stops giving instructions, he starts building intuition. Then came the betrayal. Those you prayed for turned against you. Those you helped couldn't return loyalty. Those you trusted couldn't keep confidence. This betrayal wasn't just human disappointment, it was divine filtering. Not everyone assigned to your beginning belongs in your completion. This wilderness is revealing what normal seasons never could. Who remains faithful when benefits aren't visible? Who stands with you when standing costs them something? Who sees your value when your performance is paused? Your unexpected wilderness isn't punishment, it's purification. It isn't delay, it's development. It isn't God's disapproval, it's his deep investment in your future impact. The intensity of your isolation directly connects to the magnitude of your coming elevation. The depth of your cutting directly relates to the height of your coming calling. The pain of your pruning perfectly matches the power of your coming production. This wilderness wasn't meant to break you. It was designed to remake you. Chosen one, the awareness is growing inside you. Your purpose differs fundamentally from those around you. This isn't pride speaking. This is heaven confirming what your spirit already knows. You were designed differently. The burden of carrying vision others cannot see weighs heavily. You try to explain what God revealed, but your words fall flat. You attempt to describe your calling, but blank stares meet your passion. This communication gap isn't your failure, it's confirmation. Extraordinary assignments rarely receive ordinary understanding. Notice how spiritual jealousy now rises from unexpected sources. Those who once championed you suddenly question you. Those who encouraged your growth now seem uncomfortable with it. This jealousy isn't just human emotion, it's spiritual resistance. The enemy uses familiar faces to discourage unfamiliar callings. Then came the surprising divine instruction. Keep silent about what I've shown you. This direction contradicted everything you thought about testimony and witness. Why would God show you something, then tell you not to speak it? Because timing matters in the spirit. Premature revelation attracts premature opposition. The cost of this obedience feels crushing when no one understands your silence. They demand explanations you're forbidden to give. They question motives you cannot defend. They assume intentions your heart doesn't hold. This misunderstanding isn't just painful, it's purposeful. It separates those who love you from those who love what you carry. But in private moments, supernatural confirmation arrives. The exact scripture appears repeatedly. The precise word comes through unrelated sources. The specific dream repeats with new details. These confirmations aren't coincidental, they're intentional. God confirms privately what He plans to validate publicly. Your assignment remains misunderstood not because it lacks clarity, but because it carries authority. Not because it's flawed, but because it's threatening. Not because it's wrong, but because it's right for a season they haven't entered yet. This misunderstanding isn't your burden to correct. It's your battle to endure. Heaven never expected everyone to understand your calling, only that you would understand your instruction. Your obedience in obscurity is building your authority for publicity. Your faithfulness when misunderstood is establishing your foundation for when fully revealed. This season isn't breaking your assignment. It's breaking your need for approval. Chosen one, the revelation is breaking upon you now. Not everyone celebrating your progress is celebrating your purpose. Discernment is showing you the difference between those who honor your calling and those who monitor your movements. The enemy has established intelligence gathering against your progress. Those random questions about your next steps, those casual inquiries about your future plans, those seemingly innocent requests for details. Many aren't curiosity, they're reconnaissance. Information leaves your lips and travels to spiritual altars aimed against your elevation. These strategic attacks consistently target your weakest moments. Have you noticed? When most exhausted, unexpected conflict arrives. When most vulnerable, strange accusations surface. When most in need of rest, pressing emergencies appear. This precision isn't random, it's researched. The enemy studies your breaking points to maximize effectiveness. The emotional manipulation designed to make you speak prematurely grows more sophisticated. Flattery that tempts you to reveal too much. Criticism that provokes defensive oversharing. Rejection that triggers desperate explanation. These aren't just interpersonal dynamics. They're spiritual traps set to extract your vision before it's time. Listen, I know you're watching quietly, just taking everything in, but chosen ones like you don't come across these messages by accident. If this is touching your soul, hit that subscribe button. Don't keep walking through spiritual warfare alone when a whole family of chosen ones is right here with you. Heaven is issuing a clear warning. Guard your vision with unprecedented vigilance. Some dreams die, not from lack of ability, but from lack of confidentiality. Some callings collapse not from insufficient anointing, but from insufficient boundaries. Some assignments fail not from inadequate preparation, but from inappropriate exposure. You're experiencing the first taste of power in restraint. When provoked, you stayed calm. When questioned, you remained vague. When pressed, you stood firm. This restraint isn't just personal discipline, it's spiritual warfare. Every time you refuse to react, you confuse the enemy's intelligence system. The monitoring against you confirms the magnitude of what you carry. The investigation into your movements validates the importance of your mission. The opposition gathering information proves the impact of your forthcoming assignment. This isn't just spiritual attack, it's spiritual acknowledgement. Your silence now frustrates forces that once controlled you through your words. Your restraint now confuses systems that once manipulated you through your emotions. Your boundaries now protect purposes that once leaked through your need for validation. This isn't just spiritual warfare, it's spiritual maturity. Chosen one, the pressure intensifies now. The overwhelming urge to defend yourself rises like a flood. When your character is questioned in public spaces, when your motives are twisted beyond recognition, when your silence is interpreted as guilt. The pressure to speak, to explain, to justify becomes almost unbearable. This is the breaking point, the critical moment that separates those who follow divine strategy from those who surrender to human impulse. Every accusation feels like a stone. Every misrepresentation cuts like a knife. Every false conclusion burns like fire. The natural response screams, "Defend yourself, explain the truth, clear your name." But heaven whispers something different. "Be still, hold your peace, I will fight for you." This divine instruction contradicts all human wisdom. The world says, "Speak up or be forgotten." God says, "Be quiet and watch me remember you." The world says, "Control the narrative or lose your position." God says, "Surrender control and find your true authority." In this moment, heaven seems strangely silent. Your prayers feel like they're hitting a ceiling. Your tears seem unnoticed. Your pain appears insignificant. This apparent abandonment isn't rejection, it's development. God isn't ignoring you, He's testing your trust in His methods. The temptation to quit your assignment grows stronger by the day. If this is what obedience costs, you wonder, is it worth the price? This questioning isn't weakness, it's humanity. Even Jesus asked if the cup could pass from Him. The difference is what follows the question. You stand at the crossroads of your destiny. Will you trust divine strategy that makes no sense to your mind? Or will you choose human understanding that makes perfect sense but lacks divine power? This breaking point isn't meant to destroy you. It's designed to decide you, not to end your journey, but to establish your direction. Not to minimize your impact, but to maximize your authority. The pressure reveals what prosperity conceals. The opposition exposes what comfort covers. The warfare unveils what peace veils. The true condition of your trust in God. Stop right here. If you haven't subscribed yet, ask yourself why. Every time you search for clarity, every time you feel overwhelmed, God guides you to messages like this. Don't reject what heaven is trying to give you. Subscribe so you stay connected to the voice that lifts you when no one else does. This breaking point isn't breaking you down. It's breaking you open, not to damage you, but to develop you, not to harm you, but to heal you, not to finish you, but to forge you. Your response in this moment determines your reality in the next season. Chosen one, something shifts when you finally surrender to divine strategy. When you choose heaven's way over human wisdom. When you embrace silence instead of self-defense. This surrender feels like defeat at first, but quickly reveals itself as deliverance. The surprising peace that follows complete surrender cannot be manufactured or imitated. It surpasses understanding because it defies circumstances. Nothing external has changed. The accusations remain. The misunderstandings continue. The opposition persists. Yet internally, everything transforms. This peace isn't circumstantial. It's supernatural. Watch how spiritual attacks intensify immediately after your decision. This increased opposition isn't punishment for wrong choices. It's confirmation of right alignment. The enemy only escalates warfare against positions that threaten his territory. This intensified battle isn't failure, it's validation. You begin noticing the first glimpses of supernatural protection. People who planned to harm you suddenly change direction. Traps set for your downfall mysteriously malfunction. Words meant to destroy your reputation unexpectedly lose credibility. This protection isn't coincidence. It's covenant. God shields what he selects. Internal strengthening occurs during external warfare. Your emotional responses change. Your spiritual sensitivity increases. Your mental clarity sharpens. Your physical energy renews. This strengthening isn't self-improvement, it's divine empowerment. God fortifies what he calls. In this new quietness, you learn to hear God more clearly than ever before. Whispers you missed in the noise become distinct in the silence. Guidance that seemed absent in the chaos appears obvious in the stillness. Direction that felt withheld in the confusion flows freely in the calm. This enhanced hearing isn't improved technique. It's increased intimacy. God speaks to those who listen. Your surrender to silence creates a mystery the enemy cannot decode. When expected reactions don't appear, opposition loses its map. When anticipated responses don't emerge, attacks lose their target. When predicted behaviors don't manifest, warfare loses its strategy. This unpredictability isn't random, it's revolutionary. It dismantles patterns that previously permitted defeat. The power of staying quiet becomes increasingly evident. Not speaking when provoked conserves spiritual energy. Not defending when accused preserves emotional strength. Not explaining when misunderstood maintains divine covering. This conservation isn't passivity, it's strategy. Every word withheld becomes currency for your future. Your surrender to silence isn't submission to circumstances, but submission to sovereignty. Not yielding to pressure, but yielding to purpose. Not bowing to opposition, but bowing to opportunity disguised as opposition. This surrendered silence doesn't remove you from the battle. It repositions you in it, from the front lines to the command center, from soldier to strategist, from reactor to ruler. Human darkness cannot overcome those hidden in divine light. Chosen one, while your external world seems paused, unexpected divine training activates in the background. This hidden preparation confuses human observation but follows heavenly calculation. Nothing is random about this season. Every moment serves a greater design. New skills develop within you that make no sense in your current context. Why learn this specific ability now? Why master this particular gift today? Why develop this unusual strength in this season? The purpose remains unclear because the assignment remains unrevealed. God equips before he commissions. He prepares before he positions. Notice the connections forming without your effort or engineering. People reaching out unexpectedly, mentors appearing mysteriously, resources arriving surprisingly. These connections aren't coincidental, they're intentional. Heaven assembles your destiny network while you remain still. These divine introductions aren't based on your current needs, but on your coming assignment. The enemy grows increasingly confused when he can't track your movements. His monitoring systems depend on predictable patterns. Your job, your relationships, your activities, your finances. But in this hidden season, conventional tracking fails. Your spiritual GPS shows locations that your physical presence doesn't match. This confusion isn't accidental, it's strategic. What the enemy can't monitor, he cannot effectively oppose. Supernatural provision arrives precisely during resource battles. When funds seem lowest, unexpected money appears. When strength seems depleted, unusual energy emerges. When wisdom seems lacking, divine insight manifests. This provision isn't merely sustenance, it's evidence. Proof that heaven supplies what it requires for its own purposes. The painful pruning you're experiencing directly precedes multiplication. Relationships severed, opportunities closed, positions terminated, seasons ended. This cutting away feels like loss, but functions as liberation. Every connection heaven removes creates capacity for what heaven plans to introduce. This pruning isn't punishment, it's preparation for productivity. Your hidden development follows divine mathematics, not human logic. Skills that seem disconnected will interlock perfectly. Knowledge that appears random will align precisely. Experiences that feel wasteful will contribute exactly. Heaven builds with blueprints you cannot yet access. The confusion of this season isn't evidence of divine abandonment, but of divine advancement. God hides what He values most. He conceals what threatens darkness most. He protects what promises most. Your preparation happens in proportion to your assignment, not your preference. The depth of development matches the height of deployment. The intensity of training equals the impact of testimony. This hidden season isn't wasted time, it's invested time, not dead space, but development space, not God's forgetfulness, but God's faithfulness to prepare you thoroughly. What looks like divine neglect to human eyes is divine investment to heavenly perspective. Chosen one. New authority emerges from your sustained restraint. Power that cannot be granted by position or purchased with money now flows through your spirit. This authority isn't conferred by humans, it's confirmed by heaven. It manifests not from what you've done, but from what you've endured without breaking. Emotional triggers that once controlled your responses now activate your discernment instead. Words that previously wounded now simply inform. Actions that formerly devastated now merely reveal. People who used to derail you now just redirect you to prayer. This emotional stability isn't numbness, it's maturity. Not disconnection, but discernment. Your spiritual perception sharpens beyond natural understanding. You sense motives beneath words. You discern intentions behind actions. You perceive outcomes before manifestation. This enhanced discernment isn't psychological insight. It's prophetic intelligence. Heaven allowing you to see what others miss and know what others question. The power to remain unmoved by opposition solidifies within you. Criticism that once crushed now merely considers. Rejection that previously defined now simply redirects. Opposition that formerly deterred now actually confirms. This steadfastness isn't stubbornness, it's stability. The difference between being strong-willed and strongly anchored. Divine timing becomes natural to your spirit. You no longer rush what God delays or delay what God accelerates. You recognize open doors without forcing entry. You perceive closed seasons without fighting their end. This timing isn't improved scheduling. It's aligned sovereignty, moving with heaven's calendar rather than cultural pressure. The weight of your words increases in spiritual power. When you finally speak, atmosphere shifts. When you eventually explain, understanding opens. When you ultimately declare, circumstances respond. This power isn't eloquence, it's authority. Words refined by silence carry force that words rushed by impulse never contain. Your spirit recognizes challenges before they manifest physically. You prepare for battles not yet visible. You strengthen areas not yet tested. You secure positions not yet attacked. This anticipation isn't anxiety, it's awareness. Heaven's advanced warning system activating through your yielded spirit. The peace that surrounds your decisions deepens beyond circumstance. Regardless of external pressure, internal clarity remains. Despite conflict and counsel, divine direction stands. Amidst confusing options, heavenly wisdom prevails. This peace isn't ignorance of problems, it's assurance of provision, not denial of difficulty, but confidence in divine backing. This spiritual mastery isn't perfection, it's progression. Not flawless performance, but faithful positioning. Not achieving some ultimate state, but aligning with ultimate purpose. What others fight to gain, you receive through surrender. What others strain to achieve, you access through alignment. What others perform to earn, you possess through covenant. This isn't your development, it's His deposit. Chosen one, as your silence continues, false allies are being divinely revealed. Those whose loyalty depended on your usefulness now show their true nature. Those whose friendship required your performance now reveal their authentic intent. Those whose support demanded your compliance now expose their actual agenda. This revelation isn't accidental, it's appointed. God always exposes what He plans to remove. Watch how spiritual traps set against you repeatedly fail as you maintain your silence. Conversations designed to provoke you yield no reaction. Situations created to tempt you produce no compromise. Questions crafted to extract information receive no answers. These failures aren't coincidental, they're consequential. What cannot be baited cannot be captured. Your enemies now fight each other in confusion. Those who united against you suddenly turn on one another. Alliances formed to oppose you unexpectedly fracture. Agreements made to block you mysteriously dissolve. This infighting isn't random, it's retributive. When God confuses your opposition, they become their own worst enemies. Divine justice now operates without your involvement or intervention. People who wronged you face unexpected consequences. Those who betrayed you encounter unusual challenges. Those who abandoned you experience uncommon isolation. This justice isn't your vindictiveness, it's heaven's vindication. You don't have to fight battles God has already scheduled for resolution. The carefully constructed campaigns against you collapse under their own weight. Lies told about you suddenly contradict each other. Rumors spread against you abruptly lose credibility. Stories fabricated about you unexpectedly reveal their inconsistencies. This collapse isn't coincidental, it's calculated. What God did not authorize cannot ultimately succeed. Supernatural vindication appears in the most unexpected places. People who never met you defend your character. Individuals with no connection to you confirm your integrity. Strangers with no knowledge of you validate your vision. This vindication isn't your reputation management, it's heaven's reputation defense. What God endorses, He always protects. The opposition that intended to destroy you instead defines you more clearly. Each attack sharpens your focus. Every accusation clarifies your calling. All resistance refines your resolve. This definition isn't accidental, it's intentional. Pressure doesn't just test substance, it reveals identity. Your stillness in this season allows divine exposure to complete its work. Your restraint permits heavenly justice to fulfill its purpose. Your silence enables supernatural vindication to establish its presence. The very weapons formed against you now expose those who crafted them. The very plans designed to harm you now reveal those who devised them. The very words meant to damage you now identify those who spoke them. This exposure isn't just justice, it's protection for your next season. Chosen one, while external evidence remains hidden, heaven's approval now manifests within your spirit. This internal witness transcends circumstances and overrules appearances. It speaks with certainty when everything else speaks with doubt. This approval isn't emotional comfort, it's spiritual confirmation. The difference between feeling better and knowing better. The divine crown is being placed upon you in secret, where human eyes cannot witness and human hands cannot interfere. This coronation happens in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. Authority is conferred internally before it's confirmed externally. Position is established spiritually before it's evident physically. This sequence isn't backward, it's biblical. David was anointed king long before he sat on any throne. Spiritual authority now establishes itself before physical evidence appears. You sense decisions made about you in realms you cannot see. You perceive agreements formed concerning you in places you cannot access. You recognize assignments aligned for you in dimensions you cannot enter. This authority isn't imaginary, it's preliminary. Heaven always announces internally what it intends to establish externally. The final releasing of your need for human validation occurs in this season. Opinions that once defined you now inform you. Criticisms that previously controlled you now simply reach you. Rejections that formerly devastated you now merely redirect you. This release isn't independence, it's interdependence with divine approval rather than human acceptance. Complete alignment with heaven's perspective replaces your former viewing points. You see delays as development rather than denial. You recognize opposition as opportunity rather than obstacle. You understand isolation as protection rather than punishment. This alignment isn't positive thinking, it's prophetic thinking. Seeing from heaven's viewpoint rather than earth's vantage point. The quiet confidence that precedes manifestation settles within you. Not arrogance about your abilities, but assurance about your assignment. Not pride in your performance, but peace in your positioning. Not conceit about your capacity, but conviction about your calling. This confidence isn't self-centered, it's source-centered, rooted not in who you are, but in whose you are. In this internal coronation, heaven establishes in your spirit what earth will soon recognize in your circumstances. The invisible precedes the visible. The spiritual creates the physical. The internal generates the external. Before you go, chosen one, don't forget, the fact that you made it to the end of this message means something. Your spirit needed this. Don't walk away without subscribing. It costs nothing, but it means everything for the journey God is taking you on. Join the family. Your breakthrough might be in the next video. This crowning in obscurity isn't your final state. It's your foundation state. Not your ultimate position, but your launch position. Not your final authority, but your founding authority. What God establishes internally, no external force can ultimately prevent from manifesting. Chosen one, after seasons of silence and waiting, unexpected doors begin opening without your effort or manipulation. Opportunities you never pursued suddenly pursue you. Connections you never initiated mysteriously find you. Platforms you never requested surprisingly invite you. This acceleration isn't random timing, it's divine timing. Heaven moves suddenly after it positions thoroughly. Recognition now arrives from the most unlikely and unexpected sources. People who never acknowledged your existence suddenly acknowledge your excellence. Organizations that overlooked your applications now overtly seek your acceptance. Institutions that rejected your presence now request your partnership. This recognition isn't your reputation building, it's heaven's reputation revealing. What God endorses, He eventually exposes. Resources appear through invisible channels you never accessed or approached. Finances flow from unexpected directions. Assistance arrives from unanticipated allies. Support emerges from unprecedented sources. These provisions aren't coincidental, they're covenantal. God funds what He forms. He resources what He releases. He supplies what He sanctions. Your name is being mentioned in places far beyond your reach or awareness. In rooms you've never entered. In conversations you never started. In meetings you weren't invited to attend. This elevation isn't your networking, it's heaven's notifying. God announces what He anoints. He introduces what He intends to use. Former enemies transform into unexpected advocates and allies. Those who opposed your progress now openly promote your potential. Those who blocked your advancement now boldly announce your ability. Those who hindered your elevation now help establish your excellence. This transformation isn't your persuasion, it's divine conversion. What God decides to align, no human division can permanently separate. The shocking speed of heaven's movements now takes your breath away. What seemed impossibly distant yesterday appears immediately available today. What felt hopelessly delayed last season suddenly develops this season. What appeared permanently blocked in the past unexpectedly breaks through in the present. This acceleration isn't natural momentum, it's supernatural movement. God compresses time when He completes preparation. This divine suddenly isn't just blessing, it's vindication. Not just provision, but proof. Not just elevation, but evidence. Confirmation that your obedience wasn't foolishness, but foresight. Your patience wasn't weakness, but wisdom. Your restraint wasn't fear, but faith. What appeared dormant was developing. What seemed delayed was being designed. What looked denied was simply being defined. The suddenness of heaven always shocks the schedules of earth. Chosen one, the divine permission to finally speak now arrives after seasons of instructed silence. The heavenly hand that closed your mouth now deliberately opens it again. The supernatural restraint placed upon your words now strategically releases your voice. This timing isn't your decision. It's heaven's directive. God silences and God speaks, each in their proper season. The supernatural impact of your words after silence astonishes even you. When you finally share, atmospheres visibly shift. When you eventually speak, obstacles noticeably move. When you ultimately declare, circumstances immediately respond. This power isn't your eloquence, it's earned authority. Words refined by silence carry weight that words rushed by impatience never achieve. The clarity and authority that now flow through your communication silence even your fiercest opposition. Arguments that once seemed convincing against you suddenly appear confused before you. Accusations that formerly felt damaging toward you now feel desperate around you. Criticisms that previously seemed legitimate about you now sound laughable against you. This authority isn't your persuasiveness, it's positional power, speaking from divine assignment rather than personal agenda. The perfect timing that maximizes your message becomes evident to everyone listening. Your words address exactly what needs addressing. Your insight illuminates precisely what requires illumination. Your wisdom resolves specifically what demands resolution. This timing isn't coincidental, it's consequential. God positions words like He positions people for maximum impact. The wisdom flowing through you now could only come from the waiting season you endured. Insights that surprise listeners, understanding that amazes followers, knowledge that astonishes experts. This wisdom isn't your intelligence, it's invested revelation. The return on everything God deposited during your silent preparation. Your testimony now becomes weapons for others facing similar battles. Your story disarms the enemy's accusations. Your experience dismantles the adversary's arguments. Your victory disproves the opposition's predictions. This weaponizing isn't your strategy, it's heaven's system. What the enemy meant for your destruction, God transforms into mass instruction. The generational impact of your restored voice extends far beyond your immediate influence. Your words heal what you never wounded. Your declarations free what you never bound. Your pronouncements restore what you never damaged. This impact isn't your intention, it's divine intervention. God multiplies what He authorizes. This voice restoration isn't just about speaking again, it's about speaking differently. Not just volume restored, but value transformed. Not just sound regained, but substance refined. Not just communication returned, but consecration realized. Words tested by fire carry flames that ignite others. Messages proven in silence contain power that changes atmospheres. Testimonies forged in waiting hold authority that shapes generations. Your voice wasn't just silenced, it was sanctified for greater purpose. Chosen one, watch and wonder as multiple promises begin fulfilling simultaneously in your life. Prophecies spoken years apart converge in the same season. Words that seemed contradictory now complement each other perfectly. Visions that appear disconnected now connect seamlessly. This convergence isn't coincidental, it's calibrated. Heaven's timing operates with precision human schedules cannot comprehend. Divine compensation for your delayed seasons now manifests with overwhelming abundance. Where you waited longest, you received double. Where you suffered most, you gained greatest. Where you endured hardest, you experienced fullest. This compensation isn't merely kindness, it's covenant. God restores what the waiting seasons consumed with interest that only heaven calculates. Your preparation now perfectly matches your elevation, revealing heaven's meticulous design. The skills developed in hiding directly address the challenges faced in visibility. The strength built in rejection exactly meets the demands created in acceptance. The wisdom gained in isolation precisely answers the questions raised in expansion. This matching isn't luck, it's love. Divine foresight ensuring you're never promoted beyond your preparation. The strategic positioning only possible through waiting becomes undeniably evident. You now stand exactly where maximum impact meets minimum resistance, where greatest influence encounters least opposition, where fullest authority faces fewest challenges. This positioning isn't fortunate, it's foreordained. God places what He plans to use where He intends to move. Supernatural favor with decision makers appears beyond explanation or expectation. People in authority inexplicably trust you. Individuals with influence instinctively believe in you. Persons with power naturally align with you. This favor isn't your charisma, it's heaven's endorsement. What God approves, human systems eventually accept. The divine purpose behind your isolation now reveals itself with perfect clarity. Separation wasn't rejection, but protection. Hiddenness wasn't punishment, but preparation. Quietness wasn't neglect, but nurture. This purpose isn't retroactive meaning, it's proactive mastery. God doesn't waste what He values, He develops what He treasures. Your accelerated advancement isn't premature, it's precisely timed. Not rushed, but released. Not hurried, but harvested. Not pressured, but prepared. This acceleration doesn't bypass process, it completes it. doesn't shortcut development, it confirms it. Doesn't avoid preparation, it activates it. What seems sudden to others has been silently forming in you for seasons. What appears overnight to witnesses has been overcoming in you for years. What looks like luck to observers has been labor for you in the background. Divine acceleration isn't about speed, it's about sovereignty, revealing its perfect schedule. Chosen one, your testimony now breaks strongholds for others that once seemed unbreakable. Your story dismantles chains in minutes that people struggled against for years. Your experience dissolves barriers instantly that communities battled for generations. This breakthrough power isn't just personal victory, it's public authority. What God heals through you, He heals beyond you. The multiplication effect of your obedience extends far beyond your awareness or intention. Seeds planted through your surrender produce harvests you never imagined. Words spoken from your yielding create changes you never envisioned. Actions taken from your submission establish legacies you never planned. This multiplication isn't your strategy, it's spiritual mathematics. Heaven's system of increase, where one act of obedience yields 30, 60, or 100-fold return. Divine connections now form a strategic network around your assignment, not random relationships, but redemptive partnerships. People perfectly suited to strengthen your weaknesses. Individuals specifically designed to complement your vision. Persons precisely equipped to expand your impact. This network isn't your recruitment, it's heaven's reinforcement. God aligns what He intends to combine for kingdom advancement. Your story becomes prophetic mapping for others walking similar paths behind you. Your trials create trail markers where none existed. Your battles blaze paths through wilderness territories. Your breakthroughs build bridges over impossible chasms. This mapping isn't your method, it's missional meaning. God documents what He intends to duplicate through generational impact. Healing now flows to those connected to your assignment in ways medicine cannot explain and therapy cannot produce. Physical restoration happens through spiritual association. Emotional recovery occurs through divine connection. Mental renewal takes place through heavenly alignment. This healing isn't your power, it's proximity blessing. What God heals in you, He extends through you. The generational impact of your surrender reaches far beyond your lifetime or lineage. Your faithfulness creates foundations for future movements. Your obedience establishes patterns for coming generations. Your breakthrough builds launching points for subsequent leaders. This impact isn't your legacy, it's lasting influence. Not what you leave behind, but what lives beyond you. Your kingdom impact isn't measured by immediate results, but by eternal ripples. Not by visible statistics, but by invisible transformation. Not by present applause, but by permanent alteration of spiritual landscapes. What God does through you continues long after what God does for you. Concludes, chosen one. The veil now lifts as you understand the divine strategy fully. What seemed chaotic reveals perfect order. What appeared random shows deliberate design. What felt abandoned proves meticulously attended. This understanding isn't hindsight, it's heavenly sight. Seeing your journey not through the lens of experience, but through the eyes of eternity. Every attack permitted against you now reveals its disguised purpose. Opposition wasn't obstruction, but opportunity. Warfare wasn't warning, but wielding. Battle wasn't barrier, but building. These attacks weren't evidence of divine disfavor. They were expressions of divine development, not punishment, but preparation, not cruelty, but cultivation. The greater glory revealed through your journey exceeds anything you could have imagined in easier paths. The weight produced far outweighs the waiting endured. The power released greatly surpasses the pressure applied. The authority established vastly exceeds the attacks encountered. This glory isn't compensation, it's completion. The fulfillment of heaven's original intention when your journey began. Your new assignment emerges as a guide for other chosen ones just entering territories you've conquered. Your scars become maps. Your struggles become manuals. Your victories become models. This guidance isn't your career, it's your calling. Not what you do, but who you are. Not your role, but your responsibility. Not your job, but your joy. Divine wisdom now flows through your experiences with supernatural effectiveness. You speak not from theory, but testimony. You guide not from concept, but conquest. You lead not from principle, but proven paths. This wisdom isn't your intelligence. It's invested understanding. The return on everything heaven planted through your pain. The kingdom purpose behind every tear and triumph reveals itself with undeniable clarity. Nothing wasted, nothing random, nothing meaningless. Every delay, divine. Every detour, destined. Every difficulty, designed. This purpose isn't retroactive meaning, it's preemptive mastery. God working all things together for good from the beginning. When staying quiet became your advantage, heaven was working loudest on your behalf. Your silence wasn't empty. It was expectant, not passive, but pregnant. Not weak, but weighted with coming glory. Before you go, chosen one, don't forget, the fact that you made it to the end of this message means something. Your spirit needed this. Don't walk away without subscribing. It costs nothing, but it means everything for the journey God is taking you on. Join the family. Your breakthrough might be in the next video. This higher revelation isn't just insight. It's invitation to operate from heaven's perspective in everything that follows.